everyone, thank you very much for taking the time to have a look at all of the resources that we have put together to support you to make decisions about your learning pathways for the new session. Although we're not currently in school, we are still here to support you through the decisions that you have to make at this particular time. If you're in S2, you will be making some decisions about courses that you will take forward in S3 to lay the foundation for learning in the senior phase. The senior phase, of course, begins in S4. If you are a pupil in S3, you will be making decisions about courses that you're currently taking in S3 that you would like to take forward into S4 to work towards your national qualifications. And if you're currently in S4 or S5, you have been through the process before, but please take the time and read all of the information that we have put together for you. So I'm now going to hand over to two of our deputes, Miss Bones and Mrs. Stewart-Young, who's acting depute, and they will explain much more about the process. Thank you.
Hello S2, this is Mrs. Stewart-Young here. I do hope that you're all very well. This PowerPoint will go through for you course choice for S2 into S3 and the impact that these choices could have on your studying for the senior phase in S4 until S6. Hello S2, this is Mrs. Stewart-Young here. I hope you're very well. This PowerPoint will go through for you making choices for your S3 subjects and the impact that this could have on studying in the senior phase between S4 and S6. So what's the purpose of S3? So S3 is the very last year of your broad general education, and this is the bit of school that everyone has in common, and the purpose of the broad general education is to give you a wide experience of all the subjects and the different areas that school has to offer for you. It's also the point now where we're going to ask you to start thinking about the next few decades. So what do you want to study next in school? What do you want to do after school? And what's the long-term plans and goals that you may have at this point in your life? So the coursing process in school starts with S3. But what will S3 look like for you? So it will look familiar in the way that the subject areas that you're going to pick from are the same as what you study in S1 and S2. So those include expressive arts, languages, health and well-being, mathematics, RME, sciences, social studies and technologies. But rather than study all subjects available within these areas, you're going to narrow down those choices and pick one, perhaps two. So during the course choice process from S2 into S3, there are some subjects that everybody has to study up until the end of S3, and I'm going to share the reasons for those with you as we go through them. So the first set of subjects you have to study are English and a modern language. And through modern languages, you'll have a choice for your compulsory subject of studying either French or Spanish. And this is to support your literacy skills and your communication. Secondly, you have to study maths to support your numeracy. You also have to study PE and PSE, which is to support all areas of your health and well-being, and this includes your physical, mental and social health. Finally, you have to study RME. This allows you to think about others, to learn about different cultures, and also to develop your communication skills and support you in the complicated world in which we live. So what's new about S3 compared to what you've done in the first 2 years of your broad general education? It's in S3 where you get the opportunity to pick some subjects, so some personalisation, and also for a little bit of specialisation. So this is the time where you get to think about the areas in which you excel and the areas that you enjoy, and to focus a little bit more on those things. It's also an opportunity to build on the skills and capacities that are needed to make a successful transition into the senior phase. So S3 acts as a bridge between building general skills in the broad general education and thinking about those more specific skills and area of knowledge that are needed for success in S4 to S6. In S3, you are preparing for subjects that you are going to hopefully take on for S4, 5 and 6. However, you can still select subjects in S4 that you did not elect to study in S3 because we do understand that interests change, plans change, and levels of ability change over the course of education. However, the best situation is to get the choices right in S3, as this allows continuity of learning and it allows those solid foundations that will be built in S3 to be built upon in the senior phase. So what are your choices in the S3 coursing process? So you will have 6 elective subjects. The first 4 of these will come from compulsory areas where you will pick one subject from each of the following: expressive arts, sciences, social studies and technologies. Your last 2 subjects will come from free choices from any of the curricular areas. You will be asked to rank 4 subjects in preferential order from 1 to 4. It's hoped that most young people will have their first 2 choices for these subjects. Ranking them from 1 to 4, however, allows us to use further information if it's not possible to always give pupils their top 2 subjects. These free choices in any of the curricular areas will allow you to really develop areas which you are particularly interested in. For example, rather than choosing one expressive arts, you may want to take drama and music. This is possible with the 2 free choices. You'll go to each of your 6 elective subjects for 3 periods per week on your timetable. It's worth noting at this point that the availability of any course depends on pupil uptake and constraints of the timetable. You are encouraged at this stage to pick what you want to do in the future. However, if we have to have any conversations about courses that may not run, those will happen at an appropriate time and there will be a plan of action to make sure that coursing will still be successful for you. As you go through the Learner Pathway booklet, you might see that there are enrichment opportunities available. These are courses which are directly tied to the world of work or which offer personal achievement opportunities. They are there because we understand that not every young person in Dalkeith High School works best inside a traditional classroom setting. These are there to help develop skills and are there as an opportunity to learn in a different way and to have success in a different manner. Enrichment opportunities are not available for the first selection process during S3 coursing. However, if you are interested in any of these courses, they would be taken in your free choice area. Let your PSL know and they'll discuss suitability with you. If it's agreed that a particular enrichment course is the right one for you, then one of your free choices will be replaced with an enrichment opportunity. But I need to remind you at this stage that it is absolutely essential that all young people, so all of you, pick 2 free choices from the drop-down menu which is available to you on the Google form. Enrichment opportunities are something that needs to be discussed at a later date. Making course choices in S2 for what you're going to study in S3 can seem like a big responsibility. However, there's nothing to worry about and there's lots of information and support there to help you. The first port of call that you have is your S3 Learning Pathways option booklet, which has been loaded onto Show My Homework. This includes information from each of the subject areas that you can choose from, which includes what you are going to study in S3 and also the progression pathways which are available for each of the courses. Loaded at the same time as this presentation onto Show My Homework are various videos with information on employment and education opportunities in the Lothians. So if you're interested in a particular area of employment or study, these videos will tell you what subjects you should be looking at taking forward in S3 and beyond. You will have received your tracking report in the post at the end of last month. This is a useful and valuable tool for making course choices as it will provide you with information on which particular subjects are your areas of strength and which ones you are most likely to have success at taking forward. You are also going to receive in the post anticipated levels of study for S4. Teachers have been carefully considering what they think you might be capable of if you were to take the subject that they teach you for into S4. If you have a level recommendation of National 5 in one subject but National 3 in another, I would advise you that it's sensible to choose the subject which they think you are going to have the highest level of success or attainment. It's worth noting that these are only possible future levels of study and that there is no guarantee in the information that's been provided here. Your level of effort and your level of achievement and attainment in S3 is what will dictate the level of study that you have in S4. There is a parent and carers evening on Tuesday the 2nd of March. This is going to be after the deadline date for the submission of the Google Forms. However, this is an opportunity for valuable conversation with your teachers, and following this conversation, if appropriate changes are needed to be made to course choices, this is possible. Finally, it's worth having conversations with your parents and carers and older siblings, as they can provide valuable information and hindsight into what subjects may be most suitable for you to reach your ambitions. The Careers Advisor, Mrs. Barbara Moyer, is also a useful port of call, and her contact details are available in the letters provided to you from the school and in the S3 Learning Pathways booklet. So how and when do you submit your course choices? This year, due to the circumstances of remote learning, where most of us are working from home, you're going to use Google Forms to electronically submit your course choices this year. Information and guidance on how to use the form is included in letters sent home, emails sent home, and will be put up on Show My Homework with the link. Links to the forms for you to fill in will be included in the emails sent to parents and carers about the coursing process, and will also be posted on Show My Homework for you to use. I'd like to remind people who are unaware that Google Forms can only be submitted once. Therefore, it is very important that you carefully consider the choices that you are making and the choices that you are inputting into the form. If any mistakes are made, you would have to contact school for me to be able to override these for you. So remember, carefully consider your choices, know what you're going to put in, and then fill in the Google form. I would like Google Forms returned with your choices by the 26th of February. So what do you need to remember about the entire coursing process? Firstly, we are suggesting that you try to plan your pathway through S3 and into the senior phase. Think about what subjects you need to sit for your chosen career or further education opportunities, and choose courses in S3 that you are able to and likely to want to study into the senior phase. Secondly, think about why you are choosing to continue with a subject or not. Are you making your choice for the right reasons, i.e. that it's going to help you with your future plans? And is it your choice? Is it what you want to study? You need to make sure that you're making choices based on your ambitions and your strengths and what you would like to do. Finally, you don't need to do this on your own. The decision-making process is not something that you have to do without help. There are parents and carers, there are PSLs, and of course you can discuss things with your peers. However, the final decision has to be yours, and you need to be selfish in this case. You have to do what is going to be right to do for you. I hope that this presentation has been useful for you and that you have the information and tools that you need to make successful choices from S2 going into S3. Remember that you can contact the school to talk to me if you need support, or that you can contact your PSLs to chat through your coursing choices. Thanks for now, and bye-bye.